Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel, your daily dose of deep thoughts in a simple style. Today's topic is about something that runs our world, shapes our decisions, and defines our success: money. More specifically, the illusion of money and how we are all caught in its powerful web. If you've ever wondered why money seems so real yet so unreal, this video is for you. So let's dive into the fascinating journey of how money became the world's biggest illusion. If I asked you, what's the greatest invention of mankind? What would you say? Fire? The wheel? The internet? All great choices, no doubt. But there's one invention that changed not just how we live but how we think. That invention is money. Not just the notes or coins, but the idea behind it. It's a concept so deeply rooted in our minds that we rarely stop to question it. Fire and the wheel changed how we interacted with the world. But money, it changed how we interact with each other. Money is not just a physical object, it's a shared belief, a social agreement. We all agree it has value, so it becomes valuable. Take that agreement away, and it's just paper or metal. Before money, there was barter, the exchange of goods for goods. You give me wheat, I give you cloth, simple and direct. But barter only worked when both sides needed what the other had. That made trades complicated and often inconvenient. As societies grew, we needed something smoother, something universal. Imagine you had a cow and needed some vegetables. How do you break down a cow into carrots and potatoes? It sounds funny, but this was a real problem for early humans. Barter limited trade, and without trade, civilization couldn't grow. So humans began searching for a more flexible form of value. The other issue was value wasn't stable. What something was worth could change from person to person. There was no common scale, no standard. You couldn't store wealth or save it for the future. People needed a way to preserve effort and time in a durable form. Enter commodity money, things like salt, cattle, or animal skins. These were accepted not just for use, but for trade. They had value because people believed they did. This belief turned objects into currency. For the first time, trade became scalable. Commodity money had power because it was rare and useful. It wasn't just about shiny objects, it was about trust. If something was difficult to obtain, people respected its value. The rarity made it reliable for trade. This formed the base of what we now call economic value. But even commodities lose value if they're too common. Imagine trying to trade with sand, it's everywhere, so it's worthless. Value needs scarcity, and scarcity drives demand. That's when people started to focus on things that were rare and durable. Gold, silver, and bronze became prime candidates. Around 770 BCE, China created the first metal coins. They were bronze and shaped like tiny knives or spades. These coins could be carried, stored, and easily traded. For the first time, humans could hold standardized value in their pockets. Currency had finally become portable trust. Then came King Alyats of Lydia, who minted the first real coins using gold and silver alloys. These coins had stamps that certified their authenticity. People could now trust the value just by looking at it. A symbol replaced personal negotiation. Money had now become institutionalized. But this opened the door to manipulation. Rulers started mixing cheaper metals into coins. They called them the same value, but the metal content was less. The illusion had begun. Face value no longer matched real value. It was a game of perception over substance. Then came paper money, essentially IOUs backed by gold or silver. People accepted it because they believed it could be redeemed. Over time, the paper itself became enough. The king's seal. turned belief into currency. Now, value was no longer in the material, but in the promise. Fiat money emerged, money that has value because the government says so. It's not backed by gold or silver, just trust. Most of the world uses fiat currency today. Fiat is Latin for let it be so, and we all agreed. We believe, and so it works. Today, Singapore's $10,000 note costs only 20 cents to print. That's the power of illusion, perceived value beyond material cost. It's just ink and paper, but it can buy real goods and services. That's how deeply belief drives the system. Money exists because we act as if it does. But what happens when governments print too much money? That's when inflation kicks in, too many notes chasing too few goods. During the 2020 pandemic, the US printed trillions of dollars. Over 40% of all US dollars were printed within just 18 months. That's not just stimulus, it's system altering. Prices skyrocketed: groceries, lumber, gas, even guacamole at Chipotle. You might not notice at first, but it adds up fast. A few cents here and there can crush low-income households. When money inflates, value deflates. People feel poorer, even if their salary stays the same. Stimulus checks gave short-term relief. But long-term, they reduced the incentive to work. Some found unemployment benefits more profitable than jobs. Why hustle when staying home pays better? This shifted the balance of motivation. Waiters in the US make around $2.13 an hour plus tips. When customers stop coming, so do tips. Many left the service industry for good. Money's illusion collapsed when real effort wasn't rewarded. It exposed the cracks in the system. The Federal Reserve's silent weapon is bond buying. It injects money into banks by purchasing US debt. Banks then lend that money, creating even more money. But the returns are often lower than inflation. Your savings grow on paper, but shrink in power. Since March 2020, the Fed has bought over $1 trillion in bonds. That money floods the economy, but goods remain the same. More dollars, same products equals to rising prices. This creates a loop of artificial growth. And belief keeps the engine running. Every new printed dollar steals value from the existing ones. Your $1,000 today can't buy what it did yesterday. You lose purchasing power without spending a cent. Inflation is a tax just without legislation. It punishes savers and rewards borrowers. People who buy assets, land, stocks, gold escape this trap. Assets often outpace inflation in value. So the rich get richer simply by owning. Meanwhile, cash hoarders quietly lose. Understanding this is the key to financial freedom. Even the stock market is an illusion when viewed in gold. The Dow Jones looks strong in dollars but flat in gold. This means actual value hasn't grown, just the illusion of it. Nominal wealth is not the same as real wealth. And that difference matters more than ever. So what now? Will this illusion last forever? Will we shift to a new monetary system, maybe crypto or digital currency? Or will governments double down on the old ways? The future is uncertain, but awareness is power. When you see the illusion, you gain the ability to act wisely. So remember, money is not just paper or numbers. It's a shared dream, a belief system, and yes, an illusion. But once you understand it, you can stop being trapped by it. You can use money as a tool, not as a master. If this video opened your eyes, give it a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We bring you thoughtful content every day, deep, real, and easy to digest. Until next time, stay aware, stay sharp, and always question what seems obvious. Because the biggest truths often hide in plain sight. Thanks.